but I think she can make up some distance here. Again, toes to bar shouldn't be an issue, and I think she's going to do very well on those devil press.
Here we go. Final heat. Now, in order for Bethany Shadburn to make up 15 points on Emma McQuaid, assuming Bethany Shadburn wins the event, she'd pick up 100 points. McQuaid would have to finish 6th or lower.
Now watch Bethany Shadburn. If she's trying to make up any sort of distance here, look at her legs. Now the standard is you got to get your heels back behind that upper bar, and it's a very quick repetition. If you look at her versus the other women on that rig, she's almost doubling the speed, so she's giving herself a lot of time as she gets herself to those dumbbells. Look at that.
Bethany Shadburn, 2nd place overall, 568 total points. Now, not only does she have to worry about catching Emma McQuaid, she's got to worry about Ariel Lowen. Lowen is only 12 points behind her. Emma McQuaid is on the right. She's already off the bar. And this is the rate that you were talking about, Bill.
Now, look at on the right-hand side of your screen. That's a big, open midline swing. She's hoping that her feet are going to be heavy enough to get them up at the top. Whereas Bethany Shadburn is very tight in her midsection. So she's able to keep everything nice and tight and almost rebounds using a little stretch reflex of her midline as she gets up over top.
7:50 was the top time out of heat number 1, belongs to Caroline Connors. And now Shadburn is done and on to the dumbbells. She's got to try and beat McQuaid by at least 6 spots. And starts out with a no rep. Here comes Emily Rolfe. So this is going to help Shadburn.
Now we saw Emily Rolfe at the games do very, very well when they had the toe-to-bar event there. But something I like that Bethany Shadburn is doing is look at her little use of her legs when she's going up overhead. So that's a little bit to save her shoulders, so she's strong enough on that little burpee segment and then jumps it up with her legs.
Ariel Lowen also got to the dumbbells as well. Fisa Goffi is there. Now here comes Danny Spiegel. Just about all the athletes in this 2nd heat, except for 2, are onto the dumbbells. And Ellie Turner on the left side in the long blue pants and the neon yellow top now on the left side of the screen. She was one of the last women to get off that pull-up bar. Here comes Bethany Shadburn advancing her dumbbells. Remember, the World Wide Open is right around the corner. About a month before we get that thing kicked off. You can register for the 2022 CrossFit Open at open.crossfit.com. Bethany Shadburn is taking care of business so far. She is your leader in this 2nd and final heat. She has a 15-point deficit she's got to make up on Emma McQuaid.
Bethany doing all the right stuff. She's not overextending herself. I don't see her pushing on the gas too hard. What I really like, again, she's using her legs to try to jump the dumbbells up, but then also watch the tempo on the way down. She literally is letting them just fall down to the ground, so she's not using any of that energy to try to support those. Just get them down to the ground, let gravity help you out, and then get into that next burpee.
One more look at the standings. Emma McQuaid is your overall leader coming into this event. Bethany Shadburn 15 points back of her. Ariel Lowen sits in 3rd. 12 points back of Shadburn, and Danny Spiegel just 4 points back of Lowen. Now Shadburn advancing again, and she is through 22 of her 33 devil presses. This is her 3rd set of 11.
See Ariel Lowen over on the left-hand side, right-hand side of your screen. I'm sorry, Emma. No, not Emma Turner. I'm sorry.
Emma McQuaid is on the right. She just started her 3rd set, so she's gaining a little bit of ground on Shadburn. Remember, Shadburn has got to get at least 5 people between her and McQuaid in order to have a chance here.
Now look at McQuaid's shoulders. When she comes up overhead, watch all the pressing that's going on. So she's actually pressing here, and then also up top on the right-hand side, watch, pushing. Halfway through, that is going to start to fatigue her quickly as she gets into that final 15. Bethany Shadburn using the momentum off the ground and then trying to get her hips, boom, and using as much of the legs and his hip swing as she can get into that.
This should be the final rep of her 3rd set. Now Shadburn has one remaining, and she will advance again. Emma McQuaid, 2 lanes over her shoulder. This is the final, no, it's not. This is the 4th set. You can see one more marker is on the floor here. This is their 4th set of 11. Once they hit 44, they'll walk it forward one more time. So Emma McQuaid has now made up ground on Shadburn. So Bethany Shadburn needs some help here if she wants to pass Emma McQuaid in the overall standings. Ellie Turner moving up. So Ellie Turner has made up some ground as well here. She was one of the last athletes off the pull-up bar. Now Emma McQuaid is starting to close the gap on Bethany Shadburn. Final rep in this set for Shadburn. And now she moves forward for her last 11 repetitions. Emma McQuaid just closing out her 4th set. She's only 1 rep behind Bethany Shadburn. Emma McQuaid, as long as she just stays right here, is going to win the women's elite division at Wodapalooza. Ariel Lowen is up as well. Lowen is ahead of Danny Spiegel, as Lowen looks to hang on to 3rd place overall. Final 5 reps now for Bethany Shadburn. Ellie Turner, meanwhile, is really putting on a good charge here on these devil presses. 2 reps remaining for Shadburn. Now 2 reps remaining for Emma McQuaid. Final rep for Bethany Shadburn. She's going to close out her competition with an event win, but it may not be enough. 6:59 as Emma McQuaid has gotten across. So McQuaid more than likely will clinch the top spot in the overall standings as Ellie Turner made up a ton of ground. She is getting ready to finish up. 7:50 was the top time from the prior heat. More women starting to come across the finish line now. And now Ellie Turner on her final repetition is done. Emma McQuaid, who really started her charge at the overall standings in event 4 by winning the Bayside Chipper. And then it was just a consistent performance with a 9th and then a pair of back-to-back 7th place finishes. And now what should be a 2nd place finish in event number 8 to close out her competition.
Yeah, that was an amazing push by Emma McQuaid. I mean, we didn't even necessarily see her coming off the rig right away, but we talked about that, you know, the static of that first part, but what an amazing charge on those devil press. My goodness, Emma.
Final 30 seconds of this event. Paige Semenza is in the light blue top, farthest from camera. She's trying to close out her event. That will do it. So Bethany Shadburn did all she could, but she did not get the help that she needed in order to overtake Emma McQuaid, who looks like she's going to win the Wodapalooza Championship for the Women's Elite Division.
Yeah, great job by Emma. And I think that what was so fun to watch over the course of the weekend for Emma was she just never let down, constantly in the mix. You know, she had that one little, I guess you can call it a bobble, that 13th place on the Echo on Fran, but other than that, was always in the mix. And when she needed the points, she got it. When she needed some help by the rest of the field,